Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your December 2020 money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Capricorn, December 2020 money and career. 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 Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels, goodness. And spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Oh, these are okay. And show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. And this one. All right. Very cool. One bonus card. So let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. Capricorn, December 2020 money and career. Capricorn, December 2020 money and career. Capricorn, December 2020 money and career. Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. We have here listening, which is the throat chakra, and we'll see how this all equates to the tarot in just a moment. We have peace, the crown chakra, which is beautiful. And we have holistic health, the root chakra. Oh, I really like those. That's really pretty. The left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self, with your bonus card. So we have here the 8 of Cups. Interesting. Okay. We have the 4 of Wands. Oh, I love that. The 3 of Swords. The 4 of Pentacles. Okay. So, not going to lie, full disclosure. This is the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah. There is a sense of challenges that you are dealing with. Like a way forward that is being blocked to you at times from inner turmoil, doubts, fears kind of coming in, but you have this beautiful, beautiful Four of Wands that shows success and prosperity and bounty and brilliance. So that is enough to combat everything that you are going through. But do be mindful that not everything is going to be as it seems. We have the Emperor, strong Aries presence at your heart. Time frame March 21st to April 19th. You're definitely a warrior. The Five of Pentacles, which is, this is a pauper's mentality at the heart. So there is something here that you are definitely overcoming because you have the High Priestess and you have the Nine of Wands. Oh, wow. Okay, this is intense. The Two of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles, so you're coming through as a queen, okay? The Hierophant, Taurus energy, time frame April 20th to May 20th. Aries time frame, where's Aries? Aries time frame goes straight into Taurus time frame. And then you have the Seven of Wands. And you have the Seven of Swords. Okay. Okay, so what is it, a Smash Mouth song? Yeah. You know, hit the ground running. That's what this time is like for you. You hit the ground running. And you have to ask yourself, does it make sense not to live for fun? Okay? So that's going to be really important during this time. It's like, how do you move forward? Where is it that you want to be? And you have to let that joy into your life. Because if you don't, you can get so caught up in everything that it just feels like you're in this never-ending cycle. You're on a hamster wheel. And you're trying and trying and trying and not getting anywhere. And Spirit is saying that is... and also just logically, that's not where you want to be. Nobody wants to be that frustrated, that overwhelmed, that, short-fused. So just be mindful of that. Let's see the people who will be aiding you during this time. Excuse me. Capricorn, December 2020, money and career. Capricorn, December 2020, money and career. Capricorn, December 2020, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay, so we have here the King of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is very much a person, and they don't have to be a water sign energy, but they're going to exemplify that water sign energy of the King of Cups, of that ruler of themselves. It is like, I cannot change anybody else. I cannot rule anybody else. I cannot control the actions of anybody else. That's really hard. That's a hard pill to swallow in our world. And here with the King of Cups, it's like, I just control me. I just rule me, and I can only listen to me. You can listen to the advice of everybody else, but it's the power of you that's really coming forward. And you're going to find that this person helps you see that, helps you embrace that grace, that grounding, that emotional, powerful truth. And this person might very well have a very big dog that kind of, is kind of like this gentle giant that is behind them, because they do have the, the Irish, I forget what it's called. The Irish Wolfhound. There we go. Thank you. Okay. And then we have Leo energy, which I was getting Leo as I was shuffling the cards and meditating on them before. So that's really rather interesting. So I thought it's also the strength and the power that you have here exemplified with the Emperor coming through, but it's also this sense of Leo energy being around you. This is July 23rd to August 22nd is the time frame. But this is a person who shows that leading by strength is not leading by force, which is what we get, confused with in our world. We think, okay, strength is force, strength is determination, strength is you will listen to me. No, strength is compassion, strength is love. You will find that some of the strongest people in this world, right, might not be able to bench press a lot, but have this capacity of heart, have this capacity of soul to keep going when others would give up. And that's the greatest strength. Whenever I see strength, I always think of Humpty Dumpty. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. And we always think of Humpty Dumpty as an egg, right? But they never say that Humpty Dumpty is an egg. And so if you look at it with people, all the king's horses and all the king's men, all the power in the world and all the force in the world cannot fix you when you're broken. You need the healers, okay? You need the love, you need the kindness, you need the compassion. And that's what the strength is giving you. It's the strength of compassion. It's the strength of love. It's the strength of beauty and brilliance. And it leads you to the death card here. So this is a Scorpio energy. October 23rd to November 21st is the time frame. This is a person who sees the in-between. And Capricorn, at times you're not a person who likes the in-between. You like, you like things to kind of be spelt out and orderly. That's an earth sign thing. But the in-between is going to be so beautiful. And the in-between is so beautiful. So Scorpio energy, whether you've known bad Scorpios in your life or whether you've known good Scorpios in your life, if you focus on the good, it's extraordinary. Okay? The bad is manipulative and cunning, but this is people who will aid you forward. Now, it's also, because Spirit is showing me this, it's also looking at kind of the manipulative bad aspects of life. But it's because you're seeing the in-between. It's the in-between of the tamed person and the wild person, okay? The tamed persona and the wild persona. It's the shadowed self and the light self. It is the in-between of this world and the spirit world. It's the in-betweens of everything. It's saying that everything doesn't have to be ordered or black and white or, follow a certain letter or law of being and understanding. It is an expression and a power of the heart. And that's what you're seeing here. And that's what it's so important that you remember, because as you embrace the throat chakra, we always think, or at least I always thought, of the throat chakra as talking. How do you talk? How elegant and eloquent can you be with your words and the way that you're trying to express your message? But what about listening? And in our world where it's who can shout louder, who can be more outraged, we forget to listen. We forget to listen to the undertone of what's being said. We forget to listen to the people around us, and we start to really just focus on being right. And here, Capricorn, if you listen, it will be your superpower, because you will pick up on what others miss. You will hear, see, feel in such a profound and deep way that it opens up doors for you, especially in the realm of career, because you're going through a metamorphosis of self. And it's like a question mark, because you're not going to feel like you're going through a metamorphosis. You're going to feel like, what the heck? And that's how a lot of you Capricorns have been feeling throughout this whole entire year, which, my goodness, who the heck can blame you? But there is a sense here of listening to your inner power, listening to your inner self. What is it that you need? What is it that you want? What is it that moves you forward? What is it that your body is saying to you? Because that's going to also be a huge part of who you are. Listen, and you will find. Seek, and you will understand. Embrace, and it will be there. So listen. And you might want to start practicing listening. I know it sounds really funny to say you practice listening, but it's so true. Start, listening to books on tape. You can find them free on YouTube. And then you can do learn a language like Duolingo or something like that, which also helps increase the power of listening, because you're learning a new language. You have to listen to it. So here, there is that sense of embracing the skill and really immersing yourself in the skill that most people don't think is a skill at all. The art of listening. Instead of just yelling and shouting and screaming and being a part of the madness of this world, truly listening and truly evolving. It brings you then to peace. Crowning yourself with peace. Instead of chaos, instead of anger, instead of upset, instead of upheaval, crowning yourself with peace will move you forward. Will embrace your grace. Will have you understanding what you truly want, what you truly need, and who it is that you truly are. It opens up doors for you. Peace. And you might think, well, how? Have you ever met a person who was contented within themselves? Not a person who was, successful and wanted to show everybody that they were so successful and had that chaotic, manic energy around them. But a person who was truly at peace with themselves, who said, this is who I am. I respect me. I honor me. I love me. I might not always think that I am on the exact right path, but I know that I'm getting there, and I know that I'm evolving and moving forward. That peace is what we all should be striving for. That peace of love, that peace of acceptance, that peace of understanding. It's the peace of respect. When you can look at you, and instead of pointing out all your flaws or pointing out everything that needs to be done, it can simply be, I love you. It can simply be, I respect you. And it's crowning yourself with that peace, with that diadem of peace that moves you forward, that opens up the world, that has you understanding things so much more, honestly, so much more profoundly. Imagine yourself, just visualize yourself for a moment, crowning yourself with the peace that you want in your life. And it sends tingles down my spine to crown yourself with that peace. Crown yourself every morning when you wake up, right? Put that crown over your heart every night when you go to sleep to embrace and recharge in peace, because you're embracing your holistic self, but you're also embracing the holistic you. How are you healing? How are you moving forward? What's important to you? What is the aspect of you that you have let go for others? What is the power of you that you have let die? All right? Because now it's time to bring it back. Now it's time to resurrect the beauty and the brilliance, to spread your wings, to fly. You are going to find that answers come your way. You might find that you've been suffering from headaches or stomach pains, and all of a sudden you start finding answers. You start finding a natural approach to healing your body. And it's a power that moves you. So here, it's a release. You might try cupping, which is, traditional Chinese medicine. You might try, herbs and teas and all these wonderful things that are there to help heal the body and move us forward, to put us in alignment instead of just treating one symptom after another after another. Now, I am not a doctor, nor do I pretend to be. So here, it's like, find what works for you and listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you, because your body during this time, Capricorn, and that's one of the reasons why you are embracing the throat chakra and the art of listening, is because your body is telling you what it needs, and your body is going to be moving you forward. But because there is a sense here with the Eight of Cups, like, things are changing. You're going to find what had worked for you before, it isn't working anymore. And this is a time of transformation. This is a time, again, of metamorphosis. This is a time of stepping into your power, because at the crossroads, you embrace a wealth that is nurtured within you, and a wealth that brings you to greatness, and that really has you honing your power and standing in your abundance and your truth. And so here, as we start the reading, you're walking away from something you once thought you would love. You're finding that things are changing. You're finding that you are changing, that you are evolving, that you are becoming. And there is an ending here. It's a profound, it's a deep, and it's a powerful ending. And as that ending comes forward, you see a truth within yourself. You see a power within your soul. You see a greater understanding. And it leads you to the Four of Wands. It leads you to a happiness that cannot be ignored. There's a sense here of an apprehension. There's an apprehension about closing the door. There's an apprehension about spreading the wings and flying and moving forward, because there's a thought of, I can't quit. I'm not a quitter. I'm not going to give up. This should work. But it's kind of like having a really nice pair of shoes, right? And they were always so comfortable. They were your favorite pair of shoes. And then you try them on one day and they just don't fit. They're too tight. Your feet start to hurt you. And you're sitting there and you're thinking, what the heck? What the heck? These were my go-to shoes. And so you have to let them go, because things have changed. You physically have changed. And so here, that's exactly what you're doing. And you're finding that you're moving into a place of celebration. You're moving into a celebration of body. You're moving into a celebration of soul. You're moving into a sacredness of home and of self and of what you adore. Either you are kind of like setting up a vision board, and I know, believe me, you're going to roll your eyes and say, a vision board, Dane, come on. And at times when you have a vision board, you can just not see it. But here's the thing, is that if you are giving yourself a daily reminder, every single day, even if you don't know you see it, it registers in your mind. And what you're doing there is you're setting up the pathways. Because our mind does not know the difference between make-believe and reality, which is kind of a scary thing and also kind of awesome. So as we are moving forward, if we glance at our dreams, and you sit there and you just kind of visualize it, like, wow, I'd really love to be on that beach, or I'd really love to own that dream house, or to have that career, or to be able to move forward this way. It becomes part of yourself. It becomes part of what you can celebrate within your mind. It's like, wow, I'm working towards this. And it's not sitting back then on the couch eating chips. It's actively going after it, because your mind has been reminded. So what you need during this time is, as you walk away, as you see this ending, open up the door to new beginnings. Start really asking yourself, what do I desire? Where do I want to be? What do I love? What do I need? What is calling me forward? And answering it. Being very attuned to the power that is you, to the grace that guides you, because you can be so attuned to this world, Capricorn, that if you don't let what everybody says that you should desire become what you do desire, and listen to yourself and say, this is what I desire. I hope that makes sense. So the world says, you should be like this. You should get married at this age. You should, go to these schools. You should have had this education. You should have, this many children. And then everybody should be kind of like exactly the same, and you will be happy. And the unfortunate thing is that we're not all exactly the same. We're not dolls to be kind of marched forward that way. And so we have to embrace our individuality. And you will find that you might not do it the quote-unquote traditional way, but you will do it the way that invokes the happiness, the celebration within your soul. And that happens. And as you are embracing that and you're saying, I deserve, and I am moving forward in the love and the light of myself. And the light means that it's kind of like the light in the darkness, right? So it's the light that kind of guides you home, guides you to your inner self, guides you to where you feel comfortable, guides you to a feeling of prosperity and grace and honor of self. And it leads you to the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is where we look at our pain, our disappointment, our anger, our fear, our upset, and our chaos. And we say, no more. No more do I get to be defined by my heartache. No more do I get to be defined by my pain, my disappointment, my upset, my upheaval. I get to move forward in my love, in my grace, in my power of self. You have had negativity spoken over you because everybody has had negativity spoken over them. And here's the thing, when we are small and everything is so almost life or death, like it's like, oh my gosh, this is such a big deal. When people speak negativity over us, it seeps into our hearts. And so then as we grow, and those pathways, it's kind of like a little bit of water starts forming, a stream, and then all of a sudden it becomes the Grand Canyon, right? So here, what you're looking at is you're looking at the pain, you're looking at the disappointment, and it's become bigger because you've had that negativity spoken over you when you were small, when things had so much power, when your world was relatively, confined. And what you're looking at is you're looking at the times where people kept that erosion going, kept that heartbreak, kept that pain, were adding to the wounds that have already constructed your life, all right? And so here, what you're looking at is you're saying, no more. No more do those caverns get to define me. Okay, no more am I looking at the pain, the disappointment, and saying, this is my existence, and I have to conform to what other people said I couldn't do, to how other people said I couldn't move forward. Now it's time to redefine the pathways. Now it's time to claim your life, your existence, your soul, yourself, your power. And you're releasing that vampiric energy. Why? Because you're naming it. Names have power, okay? The way that we see things, the way that we name things, the way that we define ourselves has tremendous power. And what you're doing is you're releasing the toxicity. And you are saying, no more. No more will I have this vampiric energy sucking away my prosperity, my wealth, my money. You don't get to take away my wealth. You don't get to keep me as a pauper. I am rising. From victim to victor. That is how you're heading forward. And that is where you're deciding to be. It's like, I am no longer being defined by pain, by hurt, by disappointment, by anger, by despair, by upheaval. I am moving forward to my grace, to my brilliance, and to my joy. I am moving forward in power. And as I do so, I release this vampiric energy because I name it. I see it. You might have to do some visualization with it, right? Sit there and look at the pain and cross your arms just like this, okay? And tap from one shoulder to the other. One shoulder to the other. Tap back, forth, back, forth. I'll do it this way. I don't know which one is easier for you to see. Like this. And visualize that pain. Visualize that if people set a timer, do it for 10 seconds. When the timer goes off, how do you feel? What came up? What hurt? What disappointment? Where did your mind go? And then do it again as you become more comfortable because you don't want to jump into the pain and have it become overwhelming. Visualize it. See it. See it. Understand it. You might not be able to understand all of it. You might be slowly and steadily unraveling this whole big, kit and tumble of yarn that you have to put back together. But what you are seeing is you're seeing the hurt that has had too much power, and you're walking away from it. And that wound, what you have also discovered, and what is so interesting about us as human beings, is we're very drawn to the familiar. Okay, we like the familiar, but even if that familiar is bad, have you ever dated somebody and they were wrong for you? They exemplified either like a bad parent trait, like either your father or your mother, and you just felt comfortable with them because that was something that you knew. But then it became unbearable and you left, and things just fell apart. And then you started dating somebody else and you went through the same cycle again and again because that wound had not been addressed. Here's something that's kind of freaky. We do the same thing with our career and we do the same thing with money. And this is a time where it's like calling ourselves out hard with it and saying, no, I do not get to follow that pattern. I do not get to be defined by the hurts and the pains and the disappointments and the anger of others who were so insignificant in their own life. They had to spill toxicity into mine. They had to take me when I was at my most trusting, when I was at my most vulnerable, and spew that anger and that upset and that upheaval onto me. So then it brings you to the Emperor. Because at this time, you are becoming an emperor of your heart. You have the repeat now of the number 4 3 times, meaning divinity is saying, claim the power of your soul, claim the power of your being, claim the power of your home, and say, this is my steadfastness, this is my truth, this is my fortification of being. And you become the emperor of your truth. You become the warrior of your truth. And the thing with the emperor, right, you have different ways of kings. And I forget exactly how they are called. Okay, but you have the king through birthright, and then you have the king through conquest, right? So that's where Shakespeare's Macbeth comes in, because in Scotland, you were the greatest warrior, you became king. But it kind of went against English way of becoming king, which is you were born into it. So it automatically created that conflict between ideals and ideologies. So here, what you are seeing is you're seeing kind of that conflict within, that sense of, no, you're supposed to be born to being king, right? You're supposed to just be able to rule. And that sense of, no, I'm going to claim the throne for myself. I'm going to rule because I am putting forth a powerful might of being and of soul and of self and of understanding. And the sentiment here is, all right, I might not be the fittest person in the world to rule my life, but I most definitely am not having anybody else rule over me. And that's where your heart is coming from. It's power that's taking the reins. And it's saying, this is my truth. This is my dedication. This is where I want to be. And it's looking at the pauper's mentality. It's looking at the anger, the upset, the upheaval, the negativity that was spoken over you, the times of poverty and pain and disappointment where you cried yourself to sleep at night, where going and getting, $1 McDonald's hamburger was a lot of money because you had bills to pay and you had, just debt piling and piling and piling on. I mean, believe me, I've been there. It's like, oh my gosh. And when you start falling down that hole, you go down it so fast and it just becomes too much. And it becomes some of the darkest moments of your memory. And if you've never gone through that, then God has blessed you. Because here, with the 5 of Pentacles, it's that sense of, I don't get to be wealthy. I don't get to have prosperity. I don't get to be the success. Okay, I might get to dream of it. I might get to hope for it. But there is always going to be something that bars it from me, that says, no, you can't. And what you're doing here is you're saying, like hell I can't. And I am. I absolutely am. And that's where you dive deeper. You dive deeper into your power. You dive deeper into your understanding. You hold here the pomegranate, which also very much looks like the heart, in your hand. And you are embracing your truth. You're seeing behind the mask of people. You're seeing behind what everybody wants you to believe or understand or think. And you're saying, this is me. But you're also seeing who people truly are. Okay? And this can be a time of uncomfortable truths. It's like, whoa, man, like I trusted you and maybe I shouldn't have. Or, oh, I thought you were like this and you're really like this. You're going to find that people are showing their true colors during this time. And you might not like what you're seeing. Keep it all in your mind. Keep it all like gathering up information. It's like, oh, okay, I see you. I see you. I hear you. I understand you. And here, it's like you're going deeper. You're also going to be calling yourself out on your bull, which nobody likes, but is often necessary. We need to do it to ourselves. It's like, okay, you know what? Got to get things together and got to keep on moving forward because there's a brilliance here. divinity is talking to you. And divinity talks in riddles and rhymes, which is hard to understand. But once you get down, it's kind of like, okay, so it's kind of like reading Chaucer, which I don't know if any of you had to read that for school. But when you're sitting there and you're looking at the Old English and you're like, this makes no sense whatsoever. But then if you stick with it and you don't just go to the English translation right away, or the modern English translation, you start to see it. You start to see the rhythm to it, or it starts to build this familiarity. It's kind of like when you listen to music that's foreign to you, and you start to listen to it, and then you start to see the beautifulness of the underlying melody. You start to see like the interconnectedness of the way that music tells the story. And you hear it, you listen to it. That's what's happening to you during this time, with you listening to spirit, with you listening to the divine knowledge that is around you. It's like, oh, that's it. Because every culture, every way of being has a different tone. So if you think of that as, like the art of storytelling, or the art of music, using music to tell stories, it isn't the same in every single culture. It just isn't. And so sometimes if you want to kind of like translate it from one culture to another, it doesn't always have the same progression. It doesn't always work the same way. And that's what traditional music. But if you sit there and you say, well, how does it convey its message? And you're like, oh, and you think of every single person as their kind of own musical composition, their own way of expressing themselves, not through words, but through the energy that is around them, through the symphony that they themselves are creating. Now, whether it be nails on a chalkboard and a cat screaming that is their symphony right now, or it be the most beautiful, sound of the rustling leaves and the songs of birds, is completely up to their soul and to where they are on their own journey. And people's songs change all the time. And it's coming to the understanding of that melody. I hope I'm making this clear. And as the door opens to you, you open to it, and you start to see that divinity talks to you. Not in the way that we're so used to everything being spelled out, or that we like things to be spelled out, but in this beautiful symphony, this beautiful cacophony of sounds and understandings that you are once deaf to. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's it, isn't it? And it might not come to you in sounds. It might come to you in emotional vibrations. It might come to you in the auras that you see people in. It might come to you in any multitude and a myriad of different ways. But what happens is you start to see that you have been through this beautiful battle. And it has been a beautiful battle, even though we might not think of it as that. But this world, it forges us, it creates us, it breaks us down, it rebuilds us, and it has us looking at things so much more honestly and earnestly than before. And as we lean on ourselves, as we lean on our passion, on our wisdom, on our truth, on our fire that keeps us going. Because remember, it is the fire that keeps us going. It's why Prometheus in Greek mythology was, tied to a rock with a vulture to eat out his liver. I think it was a vulture, to eat out his liver every day. And the liver would regenerate and he would be just in eternal torment. It's because fire warms the food, which means cooks the food, right? Which keeps us from getting diseases from uncooked meat. And it also keeps us stronger because we can consume more without the bloating of the stomach and, parasites and everything like that. It also lets us be able to absorb more nutrients from vegetables and boil our water so we don't get sick. So there's that, but it also warms the fire. It also warms us by the fire, keeps us safe, keeps off animals. So with that one gift, so much was given. But it's also the gift of the core of the earth that keeps the world warm and from freezing. It's also the gift of the sun being at that Goldilocks spot where life can come forward. So here, when we talk about our passion and we talk about our truth, it is what keeps us warm, what keeps us safe, what has been greatly sacrificed for, and what is so much greater than we realize. And yes, we have the rest of the world telling us who to be and how to be, and we're battle weary because we can only be ourselves. And yet you will try throughout your life to be somebody else at different moments, at different times, until you just get fed up, or you could still be trying, but usually it's just you get fed up and it's like, I can't do this masquerade anymore, and I don't want to because I see the truth of me. And that's a victory. That's a victory. And you say to the world, okay, you know what? You keep talking, you keep doing your thing because you're just going to, but I will walk in my truth. I will walk in my power. And it brings you in the public arena to seeing a crossroads come open. And now here you have, I believe this is a blue jay. Now blue jays are seen as tricksters, but also blue jays are astoundingly kind birds. They've actually, if you study blue jays, they're really quite extraordinary, and they can mimic the calls of other birds at times, and they do like to play tricks on other birds and their own nestmates. So they are kind of extraordinary. They really are. But you have yourself blinded to the crossroads. You think that there can be two ways forward because it's what's sustaining you right now. It's what's holding your nest. But you're going to find out that a multitude of different ways start to open up to you. A multitude of different pathways forward. A multitude of different truths. And as these open to you, you open to moving forward in the way you most deeply want, in the way you most beautifully need. And as you open to the power that is you, to the beauty that is your understanding, you start to see that it's not A or B anymore. Your world is not small. It starts to become bigger. It doesn't mean that, you have to leave what is comfortable to you if you don't want to. It means that when you start to think of things and when you start to think of doing things, it doesn't have to be A or B. You can start seeing dreams coming forward. You can start seeing things that you deeply desired coming forward and embracing that pathway. And it leads you, as new worlds open up to you, as new thoughts and new possibilities open up to you, it leads you to nurturing, right here as this little child, nurturing your prosperity, nurturing what you desire. You have the goats around you. Now, goats have been a tremendous part of human existence for a very, very, very long time, back when we were nomadic people, because, you had the herd of goats, you could eat their meat, they gave you milk, they're sturdy, so they were very, very, very important, and they're still important to a lot of cultures today. And we look at them now and we think, ooh, kind of creepy, because they have the square eyes and everything like that. They're not what we expect. But that's the unexpected is what's guarding you. The unexpected is what's empowering you during this time, nurturing you as you move forward, protecting you as you go after what it is that you want. It's not going to be the same old straight and narrow that everybody walks that is going to be the most advantageous to you, Capricorn. It is going to be a sense of really testing the limits. It's not doing anything foolish, and it's not upholding your responsibilities. It's definitely upholding your responsibilities. And I firmly believe that responsibilities shape us and forge us, and sometimes they feel like they can crush us. But it is that power that we move forward with. It is that power that ignites us to our greater understanding, that moves us into our truth. And that's what's around you. And here you have the child that she's holding to her. Okay, and so as a queen, this is not saying I need to be seen. Like kings, I see much more as fleshy. Queens, I see much more of let's get the job done. Let's look at what needs to be nurtured, what needs to be grown, and let's keep going that way. It's kind of like the director behind the scenes, and the king is the actor upon the stage. Here, now this could be nurturing your family. This could be nurturing those who are most dear to you, but this is also nurturing the inner child, the person within you that holds the scars, that holds the fears, the creativity that feels like it cannot see the light of day because you have to be so practical. You have to be so steadfast. And it's starting to let that shine within your life. It's starting to say, well, what if I take 5 minutes and I embrace my dreams for 5 minutes? And what if I increase that 5 minutes? What if I start? And then what if I start seeing that this really improves my life? And I start scheduling my life to have time for my dreams, for my passion, to see the interconnectedness that had once eluded me. And that brings you to the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is also an earth sign energy. The Hierophant is a Taurus. All right? So Taurus energy and Capricorn energy. Taurus energy is astoundingly sensual, which is something that people forget about Taurians because they can be so bullheaded, but they're sensual and they're creative, and it's moving forward things in a sturdy, beautiful way, which is going to be so powerful for you. But it's also sitting here and saying, I'm the ruler of kings, because the Hierophant is the Pope. And the Pope in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is represented, well, not in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it is the Pope, right? The Hierophant is dressed as the Pope. And the Pope in medieval time was the ruler of kings, the ruler of emperors. They could tell emperors and kings what to do, and they did. And so here, you are seeing that as you nurture your creativity, as you embrace this prosperity around you, now you have this beautiful, and I do believe it came up in the Scorpio energy, but it does come up here. You have this beautiful sensual energy around you during this time to create with, to move forward with, because you walk between what is expected and who you truly are. You walk between worlds. And as you walk between worlds, you walk between truth. And as you walk between truth, you see so much more than what is expected. And so here you're embracing that power. You're embracing that understanding. You're claiming your throne. You are looking at things and you're seeing the power and the determination within you. And as you do so, with the Seven of Wands, you aren't going to be spending, and you're going to be warned here, do not spend your time fighting against everybody else. Excuse me. Because people are going to oppose you. That's just what they're going to do. They're going to sit there and they're going to say, no, I'm going to do this, or I don't believe in you, I don't believe in this, I'm going to fight you on this. And if you fight every person who doesn't agree with you, who doesn't see things eye to eye, or if you get mad with every single person, you will have all your energy zapped and your vibrational level will be super low. If you stand in your truth and say, listen, I don't have time for fools. I don't have time for nonsense. All right? I'm not a rug. I will not be walked all over. But I stand in my truth. I understand my power and I embrace my grace. And as I do so, I embrace me. And so you stand and you fight when it is necessary. But it makes it so that when you fight, when you stand up for yourself, when you say absolutely not, it becomes so much bigger. Because it's not being one of those people who fights about everything. It's standing for what is truly important and what is truly valuable to you. And that is where your power comes from. And the repeat of the number 7 here shows that you are very drawn to the truth during this time. You are very drawn to what you deeply desire. The repeat of the number 2 is also showing that you are having this connection with divinity, with spirit, that helps you create, that gives you this cultivating creative spirit, because you're gathering up your knowledge, you're gathering up your information, and you are moving forward, right? You're leaving some things behind because you have to. You're going to find that you don't need to take everything with you, that there's a purge that happens. And as you embrace your knowledge, as you embrace your understanding, you embrace your power, you move forward in your grace, and you prepare for your future. And you look at your present. And people might sit there and say, Capricorn, why are you being sneaky? You're not being sneaky. You're just sitting there and saying, I don't need to tell you my business because it's my business. My great-grandma used to say, don't tell everybody your business because 80% don't care and the other 20% will wish you ill. But, and that's a bit pessimistic, but it's kind of like, keep your joy in your heart. Look at what it is that you desire and build off of it. You will have that very small percentage of the people that you know, of the world population, that actually wishes you well, and you will know it. You'll know it. It'll be 1 or 2, maybe it'll be a handful of people, and that's lucky. All right? But let that grace move you forward, and hold things to your chest, because you're going to find that the people who bark about you're not telling me everything will be the ones that keep the most to themselves. Okay, let's go deeper. Capricorn. December 2020 money and career. Capricorn. December 2020 money and career. Capricorn. December 2020 money and career. Angels. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's all going to fall. Okay, there we go. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, okay. So, we'll actually turn these around here. There we go. Okay. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. My goodness. I love that. They're like, no, I go here. Please put me down now. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Okay. And let's look at the people you need to be mindful of during this time. Capricorn, December 2020 money and career. Capricorn, December 2020 money and career. Capricorn, December 2020 money and career. Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we have here Aquarius energy. This is a time frame January 20th to February 18th. This is going to be a person who is very emotionally in tuned, okay? But is always going to be kind of playing the victim. And they're not playing the victim. They're overwhelmed, okay? And they pick up emotionally on a lot of life and a lot of things that are going on that other people would miss. They're picking up on. But if you get dragged down their rabbit hole, okay, it will become too much. It will become like, oh my goodness, just stop. And they pour the waters forward. And it's just like the overwhelming amount of emotion that can pour forward, the overwhelming amount of chaos that they can bring is extreme. So just be mindful of that. Then we have here the Prince of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is a person who is, again, overly emotional, who can be very kind of, that's it, I'm done, start yelling, start screaming, bring up and fight nasty. Oh my gosh, this person will fight nasty. They will go for your weakest point. They will sit there and they can chew you out. And you're just going to look at them and be like, what the hell is wrong with you? That's going to be the main thing that comes out. It can be somebody that you're like inspired by in media and they just have a bit of a tantrum. This is a grown person having a little kid temper tantrum. And instead of, throwing out all their toys or hitting their head on the floor because they're so frustrated, they're just going to spew vile to everybody and say, it's all your fault. It's not my fault. And I can't believe that you're so stupid. So seriously, no. Seriously, no. Like, when this person starts that, look at things and say, okay, I can see your frustration. I get it. But no. No. You don't get to pour this poison into my life. You just don't. Because that's what they're going to want to do. The Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is going to be a person, my goodness, Capricorn. These people fight dirty. This is going to be a person who uses words like a weapon, or who gives a compliment, but it's not really a compliment. It's an insult. And they can't seem just to say anything nice. So here with the Queen of Swords, it's like, you know what? You can be in your element. Their element, they just need to kind of be there by themselves. This is how they like to be. This is what's all around them. This is what they see. This is what fills their mind all the time. This is what they think about. This nastiness, this kind of like, you can improve, let me tell you how type of mentality. And it's like, nope, I'm done. So we have the Knight of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the Magician, oh, I love that, the Three of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Wands, again, now this time, it is in your heart and not rooting you in the public arena. And you have the Ten of Cups. So this is, and they all live happily ever after, there we go. You have the repeat of the number 10 here. So a new dawn, a new day, a new chapter is being opened, is being written. Justice, which is Libra energy, time frame September 23rd to October 22nd. The Seven of Pentacles, okay. Prosperity that you've been waiting for. Again, the repeat of the number 7. Truth is going to be so important to you. But, okay, so here's the deal. You can get really hung up on, somebody saying things a bit differently or, feeling like somebody is lying. Don't sit there and harp on it, because what's going to happen is it's going to wind up ruining your prosperity and your way forward. Embrace your truth, your understanding, and sit there and just be like, okay, so either you don't have a good memory to the person who lies, or you're a liar. And now I know. And I'm just going to put that in my back pocket and just use it for later, because now I know. Nine of Cups, prosperity, bounty, beauty. Oh, that's beautiful. Hard work to come, absolutely, but it's time to enjoy what you have now. So we start off with the Knight of Wands, moving forward in passion and determination as you walk away from what no longer fits, and as you embrace the beauty within you, as you embrace the prosperity about you, as you, look at what it is that you desire, your passion, your power, your brilliance, and you move forward in that truth. The Knight of Wands is saying you're being a defender of what sets your heart on fire, of what you truly love, and it brings you to the Magician. It brings you to embracing the magic within your life as you look at the hurt that you have been through, as you name it, and you say, you don't get to have power over me. You don't get to define me. The negative things, the nasty little things that people have said, or even, that people have sat there and made you think that you weren't worthy of something. It's like, no. I embrace my prosperity, my bounty, my beauty, my abundance, and I move forward in that truth. And I move forward powerfully and personally and absolutely amazingly because I embracing my elemental self. I'm embracing the roots of me as an earth sign energy, okay? I am embracing the fire that burns within me, fire energy that's coming forward, the air energy, the air that fills your lungs, but also the power of your mind, the power of forging your existence, forging your thoughts through everything that you have been through every part of you that has been called upon as you move forward. And then the embrace of your heart, the fact that your heart brings the water, brings the blood throughout your body that keeps you moving forward. That is so powerful. The fact that our bodies are made up of a lot of water. And so here you're embracing the 4 elemental aspects of yourself, and you're crowned by the power of spirit that guides you forward. And you embrace that magic. You start to see that the God's head lies within you, that this is all a power that divinity set within you to see if you would ever realize that the power lies within. Not within anybody else, but within you. And so as you embrace this power, you stand before the altar of your existence and you realize that you are so much more than you expected. You are so much more than the pain and the hurt. And the 3 of Cups over the 4 of Cups, the 3 of Cups for me is when a person raises their glass to us, says, I celebrate you, or is supposed to be the one that celebrates you, supposed to be there for you, nurturing you, loving you, and just betrays you, drops the ball, leaves a scar, and you're done. You're done with letting those people impact and define your life. There's now a new wheel coming in. There's now a new season as you embrace the emperor mentality, as you embrace the wealth, as you sit on your throne, as you move away from the pauper mentality of I can't to, oh yes I can, and watch me, I will. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new power. It's a new chapter. Do you feel like you're on a roller coaster ride sometimes? Absolutely. But I love the sparrows here. Because sparrows, well, they're my favorite birds because they can take down eagles. They all work together. They're a family unit. I love family. It's so important. And it's sitting here and it's having that connection. And you might say, you know what? I don't have that connection around me. It's connecting with spirit. It's connecting with your angels. It's connecting with divinity. And it's seeing that power grow around you, that family unit that is so much greater than you could ever have imagined, that divine unit that makes up your divine family. And it's moving you closer. It's connecting with your spirit guide, with the angels that are around you, that are protecting you, that are your warriors. And it's knowing that you can conquer so much more than you imagined. And it brings you to knowing here with the high priestess, with seeing behind the veil, when to fight and when to let go, of when to stand your ground and to stand in your truth, and when to say, you know what, you don't matter. And I'm not fighting with fools, because if you fight with fools, what are you, a fool? That type of thing. And I'm not a fool. So now you stand in your truth. You stand in your power. You stand in your understanding. And you say, this is me. This is me. And it brings you to the 10 of Cups. It's like as you hold yourself up with your passion of what you desire, it brings you to, and they all live happily ever after. It doesn't mean that from here on out is easy street, though I do wish that for absolutely every single one of you. What it means is that from here on out, it's focusing on what you love. It's focusing on the joy and the beauty that is to be embraced in this life. Not everybody is going to be a movie star, a rock star, okay, or famous. If you have just a few people who know your name and say it with love, my gosh, are you rich within this world? My gosh, is that beautiful? So here, it's embracing that. It's embracing that wealth. It's embracing that prosperity. It's embracing that truth. It's moving forward in that beautiful grace of self. And it's saying, this is what I love. And it doesn't have to be. There's going to be this huge thing during this time with career, with prosperity. It doesn't have to be how everybody else defines it. All right? It doesn't have to be a keeping up with the Joneses, a keeping up with the Kardashians. It has to be a living the life that you were created for. And it's loving that life. Not stressing about things, not, putting yourself in the hawk up to your eyebrows or your eyeballs, both. Well, the eyebrows are higher. There we go. It's starting to love the life that you have and starting to embrace that love, or looking for one thing to love every single day. It's like, wow, I really liked that person, kind of smile, gave me a smile as I walked down the street. It's harder to see now because a mask and everything, but it's like, it's the little kind things. Start to notice them. Start to look for them. You'll find them. We set out to find the negative, and we're prone to find the negative because we're group animals, and we don't want to upset our group. So here, it's like, now it's time to look for the positive. Now it's time to look at what builds us up, because you're balancing the scales. You're finding that happily ever after, and you're rooting yourself in your heart in that happily ever after. You're finding the way to move forward in your prosperity, in your abundance. You're balancing the scales. You're saying, how do I be just to me? How do I be discerning with the energy that is around me, with the way that I move forward? How do I hone this to me? How do I move forward in this bounty? And it leads you to the Seven of Pentacles. It leads you to knowing that you can rush it, most definitely. But you are claiming a power, and you are claiming the throne, and you are connecting with divinity in a profound way. And you're knowing that things come in divine time. And in divine time, grace, beauty, and prosperity is most definitely a part of you. In divine time, you move forward, and the sweetness of life is just going to be astounding. And it moves you to the Nine of Cups. It moves you to a blessing that is hard for you to see at times, but easy for everybody else. It moves you to knowing that, yes, there's going to be hard work along the way, but this is a wish. This is a grace. This is a beauty that comes forward after, as you have stood your ground, after, deciding what's important and what isn't. This is a time where blessings come in, where wishes are granted, where beauty comes, and it's like, wow, I didn't expect it, but I'm so thankful that it's here. Let's see what your spirit animal message is for this time. Capricorn. December 2020 money and career, 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 Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we start here with the koala spirit. Spirit has a plan. Trust. Trust. And spirit will be revealing some of it within your dreams. Spirit has a plan. Trust in it. Then we have the brown bear spirit. Take time out to remember what's truly important, what you've planted over your heart, what you've loved, what you desire, the power, the truth, and the grace of it. Take time out to breathe, to reconnect with yourself and your soul. Then we have the porcupine spirit. It's time for beginner's mind. And I used to think that was poor English, time for beginner's mind. It doesn't flow right. But beginner's mind is from Buddhism. It's time for the beginner's mind. It's time to look at things as a child would. It's time to step back, and instead of saying, oh, well, I already know, to say, well, why and how come? And to see things from a perspective that you normally wouldn't have looked at them from. It's time to begin. And that's what you're doing. You are beginning again. It's not in a way that you have to start all over. It's a way of being freed. And as you look at things without the weight of disappointment in the world upon your shoulders, you're looking at things in your truth, in your passion, and in your greater understanding. And it really is quite beautiful. It brings you to your subconscious spirit animal message, which is the swan spirit. Take a deep dive into the in-between, into what it is that you truly want, into what it is that you truly love. Dive deeply. This is not a time for halves. Your subconscious chakra message is grounding. Earth star chakra. What is grounding you? What do you plant your roots in? What is it that you desire? What is feeding you? Where are the nutrients coming from? What is your rooted self spiritually, physically, emotionally? How deep are you diving? And then we have your subconscious person message, which is the Prince of Swords. Cutting through doubts and fears, not taking anybody's bull, standing in your truth and moving forward with that truth, forging your way. Don't rush into things because you'll just kind of jump too fast. Step back, think about it a moment, and let that truth be a part of you. Let that truth guide you. It brings you then to your subconscious tarot message, which is, once again, justice. Justice coming forward, balancing you, being discerning with the energy that's moving you. You have your heart being weighed against a feather, which is in ancient Egypt, Anubis would weigh our hearts against feathers. And if our hearts weighed more than a feather, We're not allowed into the afterlife. So here, it is moving forward with the grace of our hearts, with the beauty of us, of our souls. It is knowing that, you do the right thing. And sometimes the right thing is super hard, and sometimes you learn tremendous lessons from it. But you move forward saying what will be best to lighten my heart and to embrace my soul. And you move forward with that as your justice guide. Not what do people expect of me? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? What is just for me? Discerning of the energy that is around you. And then it leads you to your subconscious, to go deeper into your subconscious. And it says here, the Empress, claiming a throne you thought was lost, claiming a voice that had been silenced, creating, nurturing, growing, becoming. This is power. And this is power you started to doubt that you ever had. You forgot. And now you're reclaiming it. All right, Capricorn. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we claim this power that we forgot, as we move forward in this grace, as we purge away the negative that has held us back for way too long, and step into the power and the abundance of our being. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn.